Okay, we're back. So, the direction I was going with this is right there. Mr. Airplane motor parts again. My famous airplane motor, everybody want to know what I was doing with it. Collecting parts, that's what I'm doing. I still only have one of these. I need another one. This is a Continental 520 or 560. So, this here is our bore. And this is kind of more what I want to do on the bore. Slightly bigger. So that's about that big of a bore. This one here is not quite that size. So it's kind of where I was at. But I want a good strong platform to build on. So it's a good strong platform. Yeah, put that thing right over here. Doesn't fit. Definitely will not be in that spot. So we need to kind of get an idea of where things are going to have to go to fit. Now, I wasn't sure if this transmission was going to work in this spot. If I have to go further back to get more clearance, I wasn't sure. It looks like we're going to be okay. It's going to be nice and close, which is good. Okay, this has to slide back a little bit because you got cylinder hitting each other over here. So it's going to be kind of like almost this big. We're going to have to put some material over here. Now, I might have to go to a different primary setup. I don't know if I can put a soft tail primary onto a road turd tranny. Don't know. That I have not looked into yet. Because right now it looks like I'm going to have to put a plate in here and move this back a little bit to make room for the case to be bigger, but don't know. You can already see how we got a clearance issue right here. They're hitting each other pretty high, pretty heavy. So this needs to go like this thickness here would be about right. So might have to do some modifications. But I still want to keep the tranny in here. So I might just have to put a plate in here and then I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about the primary. Primary, secondary. Okay, either way, you can see what we're looking at here on bolting it together. It's going to be real snug. So might have to raise the deck up a little bit with a shocker. And the next thing is how much are we going to have to move this over? That was my next thing. See, you can't have the cylinder going through the primary. It doesn't work that way. So it needs to go this direction. It's just a matter, now as I recall before, it's going to be like 1.5 inch spread. Stretch out. See, that's too far over. See, we got all this room over here. We can come this way. So ideally, you're going to want this case to be on the inside of this. The cylinder spigot would be sitting where the stock one was. You have to weld a little bit of material right in here for bolt boss. Right through the number boss here a little bit. It's all right. Stick it right there. Weld it in. That's kind of how that would be. From this side over here, you can see how it's going to be like that. So we still got plenty of room for everything through here we need. Not going to get any interference or anything. The shifter is going to be moved way over here to the outside, so there might be a little bend in the linkage to make that fly, but it should fit. So I'm all right with that. This will have to go over this way a bunch. Yeah, we don't know how much it's going to be, but it's going to be a lot. Now the next thing is push rod locations. Twin cams have a problem. Their push rods are like this, and the head is like this. That's 90 degrees off. Now I do like that it's spread back further, unlike a shovel head where they're real close together right here. See, twin cams are a lot further apart. So that is a plus. That distance there, that helps. But still, it needs to be back further. You know. And the problem is this lifter would have to be past this to work. So that means you got to move that thing out a couple of inches at least. That's over 2 inches. That's 2.5 inches out to use that. So this would be sticking way the hell out here to make that work. So that was the why I wasn't too interested in that case. I didn't really care about it per se. So now we go to the next one. Plan whatever Z. Okay, that I like. This I didn't like. Still don't like it. It's way better than M8, and it's better than the Evo. Because my other motor is the Evo, which I have sitting here. Now, that's something I want to get here before I take this apart. I want to compare things to an Evo. Evo cases. These are 140 Evo. All right. Evo. Okay, so now this will not bolt into this because of the transmission change. So you get the motor mount here, different. So that doesn't quite fly. But that is not exactly 100% true because there's an adapter plate that bolts to this that allow you to bolt it to this. I'm not going to use that. That's way too weak. Now you can see how close the cam is, the lifter blocks are when they're together versus this. So this is really not going to be good for that motor. It won't work. Now you can see the different bore size here between this and this. Because this is made for 4.4 bore, that's made for 3 7/8 bore. That's a 5 1/4 bore over there. So there are some changes. Where's my tape measure at? One way over here. We're dealing 1/8 inch dimension today. So, okay, this one here we're in 5 inches. This one over here we're 5 1/2 inches. So this is a 1/2 inch bigger bore than this one, so they moved the case over a 1/2 inch. What a shocker to make room for it. Now, how much did they move this over from the lip? So if you go from the lip to the bore, that's right up 1 inch. This one here, you see it's a lot different. Way over there. That's 1 3/8 inches. Or is that 1 1/4 inches? Which one are we on? That's 1 1/4 inches. So they moved it over 1/4 inch. They moved this 1/4 inch this way and 1/4 inch this way. Damn! They went exactly in the center of the 1/2 inch. It's hard to believe. Who would have ever thought that? So they went equally side to side. So I can easily make this case like this. And you already see where I have my bolt pattern already put in here for my case, my cylinder. But this was for the small bore motor, not that big boy. This is for the 4.4 motor. So a little bit different. That one's bigger. But it's the same kind of deal. Alright, so this can grow over here the distance we need. Now we don't have to make the whole case fatter. We only need to make the 2 bolt hole areas bigger. So you just have to weld right in the center. Put some bosses right here, boom, for the bolts, and the rest will be fine. These holes here have to go, obviously. So there you go. So this is what the small motor would be. That's the big motor. So this one's a 140 cubic inch motor, and that one there will be a 200 plus inch. So there's those. All right. So now what we want to get rid of is we want to get rid of some other parts. All right. Let me come back here. I'll be back in a minute.